Have you ever felt like you were born with a purpose that goes far beyond the ordinary? That there is something inside you? A silent calling? A mission that pulses in your soul, even when the world outside tries to silence you? What if I told you that, according to Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, there are 3 signs that not only carry a divine mission, but also a sacred destiny after this earthly journey? No, this is not a coincidence. It's prophecy. And today, you will find out if your sign is one of the 3 chosen by God. Yes, chosen. Because while many live just to survive, some signs were sent with a heavenly purpose: to heal, to awaken, to protect. And when this mission is accomplished, what happens to these souls? Where are they going? What did Cayce reveal about the final path of the zodiac's chosen ones? Get ready. In this video, we will open spiritual portals, delve into the hidden truths of the zodiac, and reveal what almost no one has the courage to say. You are about to hear what the ancients called the return of the luminous souls. Maybe you've already felt the signs: dreams, chills, strong intuitions, encounters that changed everything. This was not by chance. If this message reached you, it's because it needed to find you now. But before revealing what these 3 signs are marked by divine destiny, I need to ask you, do you feel like you don't completely belong in this world? Comment below your sign, and if you have noticed signs from the universe guiding you, because what I'm going to tell you now will change everything you thought you knew about yourself. If you've made it this far, don't ignore the call. Comment now on your sign, because perhaps you are among the chosen ones. And if throughout your life you have felt spiritual signs as if something greater was guiding you in silence, write in the comments, "I feel this calling." Your interaction here is not only important for the channel, it is part of your own awakening. When you comment, share your experience and connect with others who also feel this energy, you are activating a field of collective consciousness. This means that more people are reached by messages that do not just come from the mind, but from the soul. And now, more than ever, we need to keep this current burning. So if this message has touched something inside you, leave a like now. This shows that you value content that talks about the invisible, the spiritual, what many ignore, but that you feel. And don't forget to subscribe, because this is just the first of many revelations. In the next videos, we will continue to unveil not only the destiny of the chosen signs, but also the signs of the sky, the hidden codes of your journey, and the true spiritual map of your soul. So comment, like, and subscribe now, because what Cayce revealed about these 3 signs goes beyond astrology. It goes straight to the essence of who you are and what you came into this world to do. Now take a deep breath, because the first revealed sign is about to emerge, and maybe it's yours. Edgar Cayce was not just any medium. He was known as the sleeping prophet for his unique ability to access altered states of consciousness and, from there, bring answers that the ordinary human mind could never reach. In hundreds of spiritual readings made during his trances, Cayce left records that today still defy science and delight seekers of the invisible. He talked about past lives, reincarnation, dimensional planes, and above all, about the sacred role of certain souls who came into the world with a divine mission. And among these revelations, Cayce highlighted something that few had access to. There are signs that were chosen by greater forces before they were even born. Signs that not only carry deep spiritual responsibilities, but also have a different destiny after their mission on Earth is fulfilled. These are not common signs. They don't just feel more, they live in layers that most people never touch. They are ancient spirits, marked by an intense light that often also attracts large shadows. That's why they suffer. That's why they feel alone, out of place. But Cayce was clear. This is part of the spiritual polishing that precedes the return to a higher plane. The soul of these signs is not lost, does not dissolve in the chaos of the world. She is guided, protected, directed. According to Cayce, when one of these chosen ones completes their mission, and this has nothing to do with fame, success, or earthly recognition, something much greater begins, a process of reconnection with your sacred origin. These souls do not die in the common sense. They go through portals, they pass through dimensions where time does not exist, and they go to spheres where only those who fulfilled the contract they accepted before incarnating enter. Cayce described these experiences as spiritual homecomings, and even without directly mentioning the names of the signs as we know them today, he described a character ribs that align themselves perfectly with three of them, three astrological archetypes that carry the sensitivity of water, the sense of duty of the earth, and the total delivery to the invisible. Souls who since birth feel they have something to do even without understanding what. It is as if they lived with an inexplicable longing, a longing that has no name, no place, but that squeezes the chest when they look at the sky at night or when they are silent and hear their own heartbeat. This longing, according to Cayce, is the memory of the spiritual home from which they came. These souls, when incarnated in the signs Cayce described symbolically, undergo intense trials. It is not for punishment but by preparation. They are trained in silence, in the shadows, in the challenges that others could not stand. Because only then they become able to awaken other souls. Because only then can they open portals with their own existence. And no, they are not perfect missionaries. They are human, failed, often injured, but that's exactly why they can play others. Because they are real. Because they feel on the skin. And when the cycle is complete, when this soul accomplishes what it came to do, even in silence without recognition, it does not leave. She is high. Cayce said these souls return to the original plan where they passed before accepting the incarnation, a plan where high souls work in building futures. Some call them the cities of Luz, others of upper astral fields, but Cayce said only, they come back to where they belong. And you may even be wondering, but how would I know if I am one of those souls? How can I recognize if I carry this mission? The answer is on the marks of your journey. If you always felt it was different, if you carry a deep pain, but at the same time a silent force, if you have helped someone to transform even when you were in pieces yourself, if you have already felt that your presence changes the energy of an environment, if your dreams reveal things that later happen, if you attract people who open with you as if you know you, there are lives. These are signs. And Cayce said the signs never come in vain. They are spiritual reminders that you are on the way, that the veil is slowly opening, that your spirit is beginning to remember who you are, where it came from, and where you are going. And if you hear all this, you feel the heart rapidly, goosebumps, through your body or a silent tear running, maybe that's already enough answer. You may not need more evidence. Maybe you just need to accept yes, you can be one of the chosen ones. Now, before we continue with the revelation of the first sign between the three cited by Cayce, I want to invite you to be active of this moment. Share your intuition in the comments. If something inside you tells you it's part of it, write, I carry this mission. If you feel that you were born with a greater purpose, even if you still don't know what it is, comment, I'm ready to remember. And if you just want to affirm this connection with what has been said here, write, I feel this call. Your word has power. Each comment here is not just engagement. It is part of your spiritual ritual, an energetic anchor that activates this journey within you. So write, like this video if it touched something on you. And if you are not registered yet, subscribe now, because at the next moment we will reveal the first of the three signs chosen by God, and you may recognize yourself in a way you never imagined. If you are Scorpion, Fish, or Virgin, stop everything and pay attention. This message is not coming to you by chance, neither by algorithm nor coincidentally. It's coming because you need to hear it now. Because synchronicity, when true, is a silent form that the universe finds to play those who are ready. These three signs, according to the revelations that connect directly with Edgar, Cayce's readings vibrate at a completely different spiritual frequency. They are souls who do not belong totally to this world. They walk here, live every day like anyone, but inside them pulses something that does not fit, something that always seems on the sidelines, a persistent feeling of being in a place that is not your original habitat. Do you feel it? These signs, Scorpion, Fish, and Virgin, carry codes, spiritual codes printed before birth, written in dimensions where the soul was shaped, tested, and sent with a clear goal, awakening. But the awakening does not happen at once. It happens in layers, like veils that fall one by one. Sometimes through pain, loss, loneliness, or even the emptiness that seems to arise when everything is apparently well. This emptiness is the call. It is the memory of its origin, and it is also the beginning of the revelation. Cayce said that certain spirits incarnate repeatedly in search of improvement, but some, only age, some come with a much higher function, energetically support a part of humanity, serve as invisible pillars. They have no famous faces, no titles, no trophies. It is often those who sit in the corner of the room, feeling things they can't explain, who have dreams so real that they wake up with tears in their eyes, who look at the stars and ask themselves, why do I miss something I don't even know what it is? If you are one of these signs, you have probably felt that way. It has gone through situations where it seemed to carry the weight of the world. It has already helped people who were in ruins even though they were shattered inside. He has seen beyond words, beyond the eyes, as if he could read the emotions hidden between the lines of the soul of others. It was already called exaggerated, too sensitive, strange, intense, critical. But none of this is defective. All of this is a symptom of your spiritual frequency. Scorpion, Fish, and Virgin are more than signs. They are spiritual archetypes, living portals, each in their own way. Scorpion with his gift of crossing the death and reborn from the ashes, a sign that carries the energy of transmutation, depth, regeneration. This is why Scorpions feel everything with almost unbearable intensity, because your mission is to cross the hell, your and those of others, and bring light from where there was only shadow. They are the invisible healers, those who transform pain into power, and who know what it is to die being alive, just to be able to resurface stronger. Fish, in turn, is the sign of total delivery. Dive into the invisible. It is the souls that have lived so many incarnations that their spirit carries an immense ancestral baggage. That's why they cry for things that didn't even live. That's why they are thrilled with what others ignore. They are channels between the worlds. They cross realities while sleeping, while meditating, while they get lost in their own silences. Its mission is to dissolve the ego, to heal through compassion, and to remind humanity that there is something much greater than this material existence. Pisces is the portal of the return to the source. And then we have a Virgin, the most misunderstood of the three, a sign that carries the energy of spiritual purity, but which lives imprisoned in the world of form. That is why the pursuit of perfection, the thorough analysis of everything, the constant internal criticism. The Virginian feels that nothing is good enough, because deep down, he has the memory of a plan where everything is harmonic, where everything has sacred order. Its role on Earth is to organize chaos, structure, cure in detail, serve accurately. Its often silent presence is like that of an alchemist who prepares medicines without saying a word, but who saves lives with his discreet existence. These three signs form a triad of hidden light, a spiritual line that does not appear in the common books of astrology, but that vibrates between the lines of Cayce's revelations. They come from ancient times, and they will return there when their missions are completed. But until then, your journey is here. It is in this plane, in this dimension, in this life. And if so far you have felt that something inside you are being touched, then you are ready. Ready to remember, to recognize, to accept that you are not just here to work, pay bills, and repeat standards. You are here for something bigger, and this memory is already being activated. Now I want to know about you. Comment down here what your sign is, and if you feel it is part of this different frequency. If something inside you shouted while listening to these words, write, I carry this mission. If you are looking for answers that you feel that no one has ever given you, comment, I'm ready to remember. And if you recognized your soul in each of these descriptions, comment now, I feel this call. If you haven't enjoyed this video yet, do it now, because this simple action helps this message to other souls that are also awakening. And if you are not subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now. Here we are not just talking about astrology. We speak of soul, on purpose, spiritual codes. And in the next passage, I will reveal you what happens to these signs when they fully fulfill your mission on Earth, what Cayce described about the final destination of the chosen ones. And maybe, upon hearing, you start to remember. Scorpion, if this is your sign, listen with an open heart, because what I will reveal to you now is not in ordinary horoscopes nor in shallow analysis of personality. Scorpion is not just a sign, it is an ancestral pact with the mystery. It is a soul that came by invisible forces, as if it had crossed portals even before it was born. Edgar Cayce, in his deepest views, described energies that resonate directly with the Scorpion vibration, souls that pass through the depths of pain, loss, rebirth, and return stronger, not by chance, but by mission. Scorpios are the true guard of the death cycle and the Renaissance. They are those who have already lost everything, or almost everything, more than once, who saw friendships break, loves become ashes, structures collapse. It is those who were betrayed by those who trusted the most, those who had to rebuild themselves with their own hands in the silence that only those who were already broken know. But what few see is that each fall was a preparation, each loss was a call. For the soul of Scorpio carries a rare gift, to cross the chaos and find healing where there was only destruction. That's why they bother. This is why the presence of a true Scorpion transforms the environment, even when he does not say a word. They carry spiritual magnetism. They don't have to prove anything. They feel. They see what others try to hide. And they often feel that since children, when they didn't even know how to name what they felt. This emotional intensity is no exaggeration. It is a tool. Scorpion came to heal, not like traditional curators, but like those who put their hands on the deepest wounds, their and others. They are specialists in soul reconstruction, people who become mirrors, not because they reflect what is beautiful, but by showing what is hidden. Scorpion energy is like a lit lamp in a dark basement. It illuminates what needs to be seen, even if it hurts, even if it scares. And this often drives off unprepared people. But for ready souls, this light is liberating. And this is the hidden mission of those born under this sign, to open spiritual portals where others can pass and heal. And that doesn't happen with beautiful words. It happens with presence, with energy, with truth. Scorpion is governed by Pluto, symbol of deep transformation, end of cycles, spiritual rebirth. And Cayce talked about these souls as instruments of collective regeneration. He said that there are spirits who came into the world to clean ancestral patterns, break pain cycles that repeat generation after generation. And many of these spirits reincarnate as Scorpios, not because it's easy, but because only they would endure the load. Only they would know how to survive destruction, look into the eyes of pain and say, "You don't define me." Only they could use their own scars like maps to guide other lost souls. And when this mission is accomplished, when a Scorpion finally understands that it is not only here to resist, but to transform, something happens. An activation, an elevation. Cayce said that these souls, after completing the earthly cycle, do not follow the same ways as the others. They are directed to superior planes of spiritual healing, where they continue to act, but otherwise, they become guides, invisible mentors, voices whispered in the intuitions of those who are still here. They are like lamps lit in other dimensions, facilitating the passage of those who still fight in darkness. These plans have no human name, but Cayce described them as spheres where pain has already been understood and can be healed. These are places of sacred silence, expanded conscience, where souls do not see each other as ego, but as pure energy. And the Scorpions who get there continue their mission, helping to reconstruct incarnate souls, often the same ones who once crossed their paths here on Earth. The loop does not fall apart. It just changes your plan. So if you are Scorpion and feel that your life was marked by intense cycles, twists, and pain that seemed to have no end, no, that was not punishment. It was preparation. Life did not break you for nothing. She shaped you, because only those who have walked through the bottom of the abyss can tell others that light still exists. And you, Scorpio, not only say, you show. Now, if something inside you has recognized yourself in this call, if your skin creeps and your chest pulses different as you hear these words, then write in the comments, carry this healing energy. If you know you have already crossed more than anyone imagines and it's still here, write, I reborn with purpose. And if you feel it is time to accept your mission for good, without fear, comment, I am ready to fulfill my destiny. Every word you leave here will not just be a comment. It will be a spiritual anchor and energy seal that declares to the universe that you remember who you are, and that has a power that goes beyond what the eyes see. Then write, declare, honor your journey, because the next revelation is already being prepared. And maybe she also talks to you, in a way that no other said. Fish. When we talk about this sign, we are not just touching a common astrological archetype. We are approaching a spiritual frequency that goes beyond the limits of logic and plunges into the deepest waters of sensitivity, intuition, and connection with the sacred. According to the revelations interpreted from the views of Edgar Cayce, Pisces represents the souls that came to Earth with the thinnest veil between the worlds. They are living bridges between the visible and the invisible, between what can be touched and what can only be felt. These souls, from an early age, realize that they are not entirely here. They live between realities. They are present in the body, but with a mind floating in subtle dimensions, as if they carry memories of something much larger than this physical existence. And this is not crazy. It is called. The Piscean soul is extremely sensitive, not for weakness, but by design. It came like this for a very specific reason. She feels what others hide. Cry for pain that is not yours. He feels the anxiety of the environment, captures the sadness of strangers, and often silent for not understanding the reason for so much internal oscillation. But there is a spiritual explanation for this. Pisces came as a channel, a transmitter of divine compassion, a soul that absorbs, welcomes, that you understand, even without words. This extreme empathy is its invisible armor. While hurting, it cures. While other signs protect themselves with logic, strength, or strategy, Fish opens, surrenders, dissolves into the emotions of others. And there is your biggest challenge. Discern what your own and what is from the other. Cayce said that these souls have a noble but demanding mission. Sustain love where there is only pain. Bring lightness in the midst of density. Be lighthouse when everything looks dark. And to do that, they often need to get lost and then meet. They need to go to the bottom of the emotional sea to swim between fears, illusions, unnamed traumas, to redeem what really matters, the essence of the spirit. Fish is like a water mirror. It reflects not only what is ahead but also what is behind it. He accesses memories that are not his, dreams that are prophecies, sensations that cross time. Therefore, many Pisceans are confused with naive, distracted, or disconnected, but in fact, they are connected with what few can achieve, the plane of the soul. They are always with one foot in the now and another in the eternal, and this duality requires a lot. It requires silence, recollection, moments of isolation. It is in silence that the soul of fish heals and replenishes, because only in silence is it possible to hear the call from the source. Cayce said that these souls, in fulfilling their mission on earth, does not simply return to any place. They return to origin, in light, the creative energy that generates everything. Everything transforms, everything reintegrates. Pisces is the end and the beginning. It is the last sign of the zodiac because it ends a cycle, but also anticipates the next. It represents the fusion with the whole, the renunciation of the ego, the surrender to the purest spirituality. When a Piscean soul does what it came to do, whether in art form, healing, loving presence, or simply being the lap no one else knew how to offer, it is called back to the source. And in this return, she does not take medals, no titles, no trophies. It takes memories of love. It takes the small gestures that played other souls. It takes all that the world has not valued. But on the spiritual plane, it has gold weight. And this destination is the highest that Cayce described. The fusion with the creative energy. A state of existence in which there is no more separation, no more pain, no more form, just light. Peace, unity. Pisces that complete their mission do not disappear. They become an active part of a universal consciousness. They continue to exist as love in motion, as a vibration that plays those who are still here. And so, when you feel an invisible hug in the midst of pain, when you have a dream that seems more real than life, or when you feel an inexplicable emotion looking at the sky, you may be touched by one of those souls that has already returned to light. If you are from fish and have already felt as if you carried the world inside your chest, if you already cried for not knowing where so sensitivity came from, if you have thought to give up on not understanding why you feel so much, know that you are not alone. Your soul was designed to feel, to vibrate, to heal. And even if many do not understand what you carry, spirituality understands. The universe recognizes you, and its mission is too valuable to be ignored. Now, if these words have awakened something to you, If you recognized yourself in each sentence, you felt the skin shiver or your eyes marejo. So comment now. Below, I am fish. I return to light. If you feel you came to heal with your heart even without knowing how, write, I am a channel of compassion. And if you feel that this is your time to remember, write in the comments, I'm ready to rediscover my origin. Every comment you leave here is more than engagement. It is spiritual statement. It is active vibration that can play other souls that are also awakening. Then write, honor your journey, honor your soul, because the next call is to come, and he may be talking to someone very close to you, maybe even with you again. Virgin. Few understand the hidden depth behind this sign. While many look only at the surface, to organization, perfectionism, discretion, there is, behind all this, an extremely refined and silently powerful spiritual plane. Edgar Cayce, in his most intense views on the incarnate energies, talked about souls that came to the world not to shine under the spotlight, but to support invisible structures. These souls do not appear on great stages, but support the backstage of the spiritual awakening of humanity. And when we talk about the Virgin, we are talking exactly about this hidden force, of the silent alchemist, the one who transforms chaos into order, the missalia into harmony, the invisible into something functional and sacred. The Virginian soul carries a spiritual commitment that few have the courage to accept before incarnating. It is about assuming the weight of serving, but not any service. A spiritual service, a type of delivery that requires attention to the details of the soul, feelings, the most subtle frequencies that most ignore. Virginian is often born in contexts where imbalance is present. From an early age, you feel you need to correct something around you. Correct not because you are superior, but because you feel that if you do not, no one else will do. This sense of constant responsibility, of carrying the world on the shoulders, is one of the most difficult evidence that these souls face. And within this process, fierce self-criticism is born. The fear of making mistakes, the weight of thinking it is never doing enough. But the spiritual truth behind this is another. Virgin was sent to Earth with such a cleared spiritual radar that he feels even the slightest energy misalignment around him. These souls are as instruments of mystical accuracy. They perceive the cracks that others do not see, and in silence they start working to repair, without asking recognition, without showing off, just fulfilling what they feel is right. This is why Virginians seem so demanding, so organized, so detailed. It is not just a personality feature, it is a reflection of your spiritual plane, ordering the invisible, adjusting frequencies, purifying environments, and preparing ways for what is to come. Cayce said that souls who embody under the vibration of the Virgin often feel an internal urgency that no one understands, a sense of mission that cannot be explained with words. They want everything to make everything. Everything is in the right place, that every gesture has purpose. But this desire for alignment does not come from the mind, comes from the soul, because these souls keep the memory of other plans in themselves, places where everything was harmonic, where the spiritual order reigned. They unconsciously remember the cities of crystal, a high vibrational plan where organized consciousnesses act in the preparation of future incarnations. And even unknowingly they miss this place, so they frustrate so much with the chaos of earthly life. Therefore they are often isolated or become extremely demanding of themselves. Virgin's journey, therefore, is one of the quietest, but also one of the noblest. These souls are here to clean, heal, plan, adjust. They are spiritual architects. They do not build with cement. They build with intention, with sacred routine, with small rituals of love, transform worldly tasks into light portals. A Virginian can heal an environment with his organized presence, with his attentive gaze, with his ability to anticipate chaos and bring solutions before he settles. It is a sign of practical spiritual intelligence, of discreet but deeply impactful action. And when these souls fulfill their mission, that is, when they understand that they are not here to control everything, but to collaborate with the divine through the internal order, they are called back where it all started. Cayce described this as a return to the cities of crystal, non-physical, high-frequency places where evolved souls act as planners of the collective future. In these spaces, the spirit of Virgin finds peace, because there, everything vibrates in the rhythm of divine perfection. There is no need to correct the world, just dreaming of new worlds. In these cities, they help project the next generations, organize spiritual routes, adjust the lines of time with surgical accuracy. It is a continuity of service, but now without pain, without judgment, without haste, only with clarity and light. And that is why, even here on earth, the Virginian feels that he never ends his task. Because to your soul, service never ends. It just transforms itself. Even after death, this mission remains alive, and when understood, it becomes a source of accomplishment and not of collection. The big key is to accept that your delivery is already sufficient, that your presence already transforms, that your search for the arrest is actually an echo of the sacred trying to manifest itself on the material plane. If you are a virgin, and you feel that you spent your life trying to find a greater meaning in the chaos, if you always carried an inner voice saying, you need to do more, be better, organize the world. So no, your soul has come trained for it. You are not too demanding. You only remember what it is to live in balance. And it is here to rebuild this balance, even in silence. Now, if you felt that this call spoke straight to you, write here in the comments, I am a virgin. My mission is still beyond the earth. If you feel that you were born to serve something bigger, even if you still don't understand exactly what, comment, I organize with purpose. And if you want to declare your spiritual commitment, even without all the answers, leave it here. I am in the service of light. These words are not just phrases, they are activations. Each of them strengthens their journey, strengthens this channel, and strengthens the connection with other souls that vibrate in the same call. The next step is already approaching, and the journey is just beginning. These three signs, Scorpion, Fish, and Virgin, are not here by chance. They did not appear on your astral chart as a simple coincidence of the universe, nor as part of a behavior trend. They are living codes, spiritual seals printed on the soul even before birth. They are souls who silently accepted a sacred contract, a pact signed in high plains before the meet, before time, before the name. A contract that said, you will come down, you will walk among humans, you will feel the pains that few will understand, but through them, you will awaken many. And when everything is fulfilled, you will come back. These spiritual contracts are different from any conventional mission. They are not accompanied by a manual or immediate recognition. On the contrary, Scorpion, Fish, and Virgin spend much of their lives wondering if they are doing the right, if they belong to this world, if there is even any purpose behind so much intensity, so much sensitivity, so much weight. And that's where the mystical truth reveals itself. The deeper the mission, the silent is its performance. And the higher the soul, the more subtle are the signs that it is fulfilling what it has promised. Scorpion comes to cross the pain ports, reborn from the ashes, and open healing paths to those who don't even know where to start. Pisces plunges into the invisible seas of collective emotion, translates the language of the soul, and transforms compassion into an instrument of light. Virgin walks between chaos, aligning frequencies, reconstructing spiritual structures without even being noticed. As a cosmic architect who draws with his eyes closed, guided only by intuition and love to sacred detail. Each, in his own way, is fulfilling what was promised before the incarnation. And when this contract begins to end, when the spiritual mission enters the harvest phase, the soul begins to feel something different. It is not relief, no tiredness. It is a sense of recognition, a kind of echo coming from within, as if something said, "You're coming back. You're closer to home." This return is not physical. It is not simply the end of earthly life. It is the beginning of spiritual return. It is consciousness aligning itself with its origin. It is the memory of the spirit by accessing what I always knew, but that was asleep under the layers of human experience. Scorpion, Fish, and Virgin do not just leave legacies here. They leave energy tracks. They leave silent healing, words that echo even after forgotten, gestures that have changed the direction of other lives without anyone noticing. They leave seeds planted in the field of collective consciousness, and when they finally cross the threshold between this world and the next, they do not do it as lost souls. They do it as sacred travelers. Returning to the point of origin, Cayce said it was not about dying but returning. And back, in this sense, is to remember. Remember who is beyond the name, body, pain. It is returning to space where it all began, where there is no separation between mission and essence, between doing and being. between serving and existing. There, time does not require haste. The ego does not require validation. There, the soul only vibrates. Only it is. And this is the deepest truth behind the mission of these signs. The journey does not end. It integrates. The cycle does not close. It rises. What seemed suffering reveals itself as training. What seemed confusion reveals itself as refinement. And with each step on this journey, belonging comes as a subtle perfume. The soul begins to realize that it was never alone, that each pain was accompanied, each silence was assisted, each tear was recorded as part of the path. Because souls like those of Scorpion, Fish, and Virgin did not come to live only for themselves, came to carry the light of many, cleaning collective karmas to realign the plans with silent wisdom. They are old souls with back eyes, restless hearts, sharp intuitions, and they are the ones who, when complete their call, return as alive crystals to their point of origin. These crystals, which Cayce described in symbolic language such as cities of light, sources of consciousness, or spheres from above, are spiritual places of refuge, planning, and creation. These are not physical places, but rather high consciousness, where evolved souls gather to expand the divine work. There, the experiences lived here are integrated, transformed into wisdom, and used to guide other consciences that will still come. And it is in this space that the souls of these three signs act again, no longer as embodied, but as spiritual guardians. They continue to teach, protecting, awakening, only now, across the veil. And perhaps, without realizing it, you have already felt the presence of one of these souls around you. Maybe in a moment of silent despair you felt a light heat in your chest, or at any dawn, there was a dream that seemed more real than the day. Or maybe, while listening to this video now, you felt something inside you awaken, vibrate, burn. This is not imagination. This is the call of memory. It is the link that has never been broken. It is proof that if this message came to you, it's because it was made for you. If, at some point, you saw yourself on this path, if you are Scorpion, Fish, or Virgin, and have already felt that your life seemed to have a depth that no one else saw, if you went through pain that seemed to have no end, but you still continued, yet it served, you loved it. So now it's time to recognize yourself spiritually. Comment here below, I am a living seal. I comply with my contract with the divine. If you feel you are closer to your origin than ever, write, my soul is coming home. And if you just want to say that this journey is real, that you are awake and aware of your role, write, I remember what I came to do. These words have strength. They activate, they seal, they expand. Then write, and prepare yourself. The next call is to come, and he will play parts of your soul that you may not have even accessed. And if everything you heard here lit something inside you, a heat in your chest, a shiver that crossed you, a desire to close your eyes for a moment and just feel, so you need to understand that this is not just emotion. This is spiritual memory being activated. It is your energy field responding to the call. It's your soul whispering, you remember. Because none of these words was loose in the wind. Each phrase carried out the intention to reconnect with something that may be asleep, waiting for the right time to wake up. And if you stayed here, if you followed every revelation about Scorpion, Fish, and Virgin, then it is because this message was designed spiritually to find you. The spiritual journey of the chosen does not end with a video, nor with an explanation. It expands. She pulsates. She asks for continuity. And when Cayce talked about soul contracts, he not only referred to large, visible, or spectacular tasks, he spoke of the invisible, of the silent gesture, of the daily choice of keeping the soul on a world that tries to erase it. From the moments you almost gave up, but didn't give up. From the moments he felt that no one understood you, but still continued to be light to others. This is also part of the mission, and you are already fulfilling. So now, more than ever, it's time to seal this moment, to transform this listening into ritual, this reflection into energy action. Because every comment you leave here, every word you write is like a vibrational seal. It's not just engagement, it's activation. It is manifestation of the invisible in the visible. So if this video spoke to you, if something inside moved, comment now, I accept my divine call. And If you know, even if still silent, that is part of this group of souls that carries something bigger, something subtle, something you can't always explain. Right, I am one of the chosen ones. These phrases are not just symbolic. They act as words of power. They anchor their presence here, in this community, in this space where each video is not just content, it is a portal for reminder, for reconnection, to align with what you already are, but may have forgotten because of the rush of the world. And that is why this channel exists, to remind you, to bring you back, to prepare you for what still comes. And yes, still comes more, because this journey does not end in the chosen ones. In the next video, let's open a new cycle of revelations. Let's talk about the signs that have been rejected, misunderstood, even discredited. But behind this rejection, they carry a hidden power that the world is still not know how to deal with. And perhaps, in this new chapter, you recognize yourself even more deeply. So like this video now, because it shows the universe that this message needs to keep reaching those who need it. Share with someone who may need such a word, a subtle memory that your soul carries a purpose. And if you haven't done that yet, subscribe now on the channel, because each time you return, you activate a new part of your conscience. Here, you are not just watching videos, you are crossing expansion portals. You are reconnecting with your essence. You are remembering. And the next step is just the beginning. Get ready. The call is just beginning. The revelation of the divine renegades, those who walk in the shadows but shine in silence, is approaching. And it may be that you are also among them. So stay here. Stay with us. This space is yours. This journey is ours. And the next key is about to be delivered. If you have gotten here, until the end of this video, it is because this message spoke to you at some deeper level. This already says a lot about your soul. And that's why now I want to invite you to take a simple but very powerful step. Subscribe to the channel. Here, each video is a continuation of your spiritual journey. Nothing is by chance. If this message has reached you, it is because you are ready for the next calls. And if you really stayed until the end, I want you to comment below a special phrase to seal this moment. I woke up and keep the way. This phrase will mark you as part of this current of conscious souls. It will show that you are ready and that you are with us. Do not forget to leave your like, because it helps this content to reach more people who, like you, are seeking meaning, mission, and belonging. This simple gesture makes other souls also played, and together, we can create something much larger than we imagine. And now, to go with your journey, watch the next video that is already appearing here on the left side of your screen. He is the continuation of what we started today. In it, let's dive into even deeper revelations on signs that have been rejected but carry an unbelievable hidden power. Click and follow me. The next key is already being delivered.